documented as being like the same still.
Yeah, well, I also forgot to let you know that I totally redrew the bullet face.
Yeah, no problem.
It's like a rock compared to the original one.
That's what I was asking.
What I did is I did a quick. Let me show you my screen real quick. Um, Actually, let me show you the other screen. Change.
Nobody gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down.
So I did a quick little
Okay.
like block in with Valley and
With SketchUp for perspective.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Cool.
and yeah, and so I just took and just did a couple scenes. And that's more or less what I got.
Yeah, I think
And
that's a fine perspective.
cool. And I just like
Oh man, that's very cool.
it was pretty. It was a lot easier to get an idea on how big things need to be.
It
Not
kind of
used to
feels
drawing things.
like an amphitheater almost.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's got that. I tried to get that like kind of
Nice.
stair stepping
Yeah.
look. Now, as far as what this stuff looks like, it's
That looks like a fine like plaza though, and that's about where we'd want it in terms of foreground. If that's
okay.
the
Cool.
most interactable structure or the most important structure, you'd want it in the player's face.
Yeah, I thought so too. I didn't know if we wanted a stage up here. I'll put another stage down here just to like try some
Balance.
areas.
Yeah.
It does kind of really distort like this plane. It's where it's really stretching this plane, so it looks a little weird.
That's okay.
But I was also playing with where's it at? Field of view, trying to this is kind of weird. It's
Oh
makes me
wow.
nauseous. But
Hey
yeah,
guys, I
so it's
have
almost
something.
orthographic, but not quite.
I see
Sorry,
what you're
Frank, go
saying.
ahead.
Yeah, sorry Frank. Go ahead.
I have something to show, guys.
Okay. Let's see it.
Um,
Go ahead and take
um,
the screen back.
should I take the screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Also, Cody,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the image that you're working on now, I'd like to see. I'd like to take the structures you were looking at earlier, and the Frank structures, and paste them on. Just see what they look like in terms of size.
Oh, the ones that he was animating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Frank, zoom way out on that. And grab the other Cavalier, if you would.
What other card?
The other Cavalier, like, head.
The original?
Yeah. Have two Cavaliers, one next to it, the other.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'll do that here. Okay.
Okay, alright, sure. It's somewhat important to be able to compare them, movement-wise.
Movement wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have replaced the. I mean, Anime Studio works the following way. I just replaced the layer on Photoshop
For head.
that this thing picks up. So maybe what I can do is go for the.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Now pull way out on, yeah. Get them to be like the same size. Is there any way to zoom out more on both?
Like make them smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that?
And the other one.
Yeah.
Okay. So readability from a distance. Thoughts?
It's
About the same.
About the same.
I mean, they're both small.
I think just the nature of the original Cav's head lends more to like, you know, it's like simpler shapes. It's like a big black
Yeah.
beard, big
Yeah, there's
black
something
poofy
a
hair.
little more square. Yeah, you can. It's a bit fluffier. The new one's a bit rounder.
I like the newer. I must say, I think it has a lot more character.
Yeah, I think it has more character too.
Okay.
Um,
So let's zoom into a mid ground now between both of them.
Yeah. The closer we get to the new one, or closer we get to both of them, I like the new one better. It seems more like a real person.
A seasoned veteran as well.
yeah, I agree.
Okay. Can we see them both close in movement? I mean, not at the same time.
Can I?
I just want to see them at every
Can I
single
see their
size.
birthmarks?
Yeah. In every single conceivable. Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
I like how advanced our tech is.
Any
Okay.
thoughts as to changes to be made to the neck area now that the beard's not covering it?
Yeah.
I think
Might-
his neck's a little pencily.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
a little pencil.
I mean, you can't even see the neck here. So, wait, where?
So
was
there
it?
needs to be like a thing around his neck or a thing.
Yeah. I have to rework that entire animation. You just did that.
That's going to have to be added to every single animation for the Cavalier.
Yeah, but that's for the. Yeah, we're gonna have to change the back Cavalier as well.
Yes.
But for the front Cavalier, we haven't done much besides this one. And once I change this look, I have everything.
So if you change it on that one body, it covers all of them, including the ones attached to the mounts? Or are those bodies separate?
Not in the ones attached to the mouse, but that's just changing the layer. You know, once I have the layer, I just have to copy paste. And
All right. Well, I'm fine with that. I think I agree with you guys that it looks better in motion. And
Maybe we can give him like a little scarf or something.
It does make it so that I think that maybe gestures are more important. Because before you didn't really need gestures with the character at all.
what do you mean by gestures? Like
Like the first Cav, he has hair covering his whole face.
no.
Oh no! Oh, how
So
how he
like
dies.
when he does that, like do it with the other Cav if you can. I guess you
Yeah.
change the head so you. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I would be interested in at least seeing his face blink and
See, like
stuff. But
with that Cav, it doesn't need facial expressions because the beard's covering the mouth, and
Yeah.
the eyebrows are like, I guess the same, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's like,
I think it's because that face is more or less unlined and like the shapes are large enough. But this one, because it has more expressiveness, seems like it should be changing.
yeah,
There's something disconcerting about seeing him have the same facial expression.
yeah.
all
It
the
looks
time.
like his face is paralyzed now.
Well,
yeah,
that might be a problem we're gonna face with every character that has a.
that doesn't have something covering
Clear
their
face,
face.
yeah.
So it's not a problem with the Lost Rider.
Another option is have a switch layer. Then let me show you what a switch layer is, and that's pretty simple.
Oh wait, what time is it? Oh, never mind.
11:06.
Yeah, I saw your clock and I was like, oh, it's midnight. Why is your clock an hour fast?
Because it's an hour fast where he lives, Frank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh sorry. Yeah.
So this is a switch layer, for example. If I switch here,
Yeah, he's holding it differently.
so we could have a different face that behaves exactly the same,
And then have it create.
and have it switch when it hurts. You know?
Okay. Yeah, that would
Another
work.
thing we're adding on top of everything we already have, but we can do that as well.
That would work great.
So aren't we looking at least when the Cav is fighting, we're looking at his back anyway, right?
We're looking at his back,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, so that cuts down on worrying about it too much, I suppose.
But we still do have to model the other head from the back,
Yeah.
which means we're still going to have to fix the neck thing, but that's not a huge deal.
No, that's not a big deal.
And that's something we should pay attention to for the future for our character concepts if we can remember. Things that cover the neck are important. Things that occlude facial expressions are important. Large pairs of glasses.
Cranium accessories.
Yeah,
Yes.
those things that assassins always wear in anime that come like the high collars that don't
Yeah.
show
Fun
the face.
faces.
Yeah,
Fun
Yeah,
faces.
they don't just wear them because they're cool.
right.
No. Although I thought they did.
Uh,
What's the name of that Final Fantasy guy?
I know
Is
who
it
you're
like in
talking
Final Fantasy X?
about. Orin.
Yeah,
Collar
Orin.
Mickey.
Orin's got a huge, ridiculous collar in front of his face.
Yeah. Okay, so those will be changes that we have to make, but I think those are all fine.
Yeah, me too. They look better too.
Yeah, I like the Cavalier here.
Yeah.
I think he does look much more like a person, human being.
Yeah, he looks like he's had a life now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is good.
Okay. Well, so those will be changes to make. I think for now, for the combat build, those won't be necessary. But the farther we get, the closer we get toward the demo date, after we get the mounts done, we're going to want to make those changes quickly. I want to have as much time to test mount animations as possible before we make switches that we don't absolutely have to make.
That's a good point.
Like, hypothetically speaking, we could ship the Cav the way he looks now if we had to.
Yeah.
Yeah, people would be okay if they're like, "Oh, you got a update from the demo."
Yeah. But I think we'll probably have time. Although that said, it's going to be August soon, and then we have September and like halfway through October. We'll be working through October. We'll be trying to start the Kickstarter in October too. So
Shit's getting real, y'all.
shit's getting very real.
Shit's getting real for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Real shit.
Okay, so Cody, are we able to put those images into the one you're working on?
Kirby, if you want to have me do something else, whatever.
Yeah. Frank.
Whatever you can find.
I don't think there's anything else that needs to be done with Valley animations right now, but if you want to work on Garcelle, that'd be great.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are those colored images up anywhere for you to be able to use them, Cody?
Yeah, I think. Well, one of them is. I haven't. Frank sent me the first one.
Okay. Cool beans.
Which I'm putting in there now, and it probably won't. We'll see what it looks like.
I'm just
I
trying
could
to
probably-
get an idea in the same way that we kind of like had it.
Yeah, I
before.
think it could probably work fine. Let me. Here you go. Boop, 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 boop. So here it is, and we could make it fit in there.
Where's the
Pretty good, I
plaza?
think. So right now the plaza is
The thing that's in the foreground closest to us.
the white space at the bottom.
So if you put
So-
that in, is that part of the plaza structure now?
I am putting it in the plaza area, like the border of the plaza right now.
We're assuming that this is like monitor size, right?
Yeah. Let's see. It's not to scale with the monitor, but let me. let's say something like, that's quite a lot of that's pretty close to what we might have if we use this image.
Yeah, I think that's great. What do you guys think?
I like it. It's
Yeah, I think that's good.
all the stuff you need is very pretty close to you.
It might be a bit too detailed for the whole composition. But yeah,
That's
maybe we need something simpler, because it's gonna be busy,
Yeah.
a
well,
busy composition, so it might be a bit too detailed. I think it's a nice test, and we should let Cody develop something. If he can fit it in, that's nice, but he shouldn't try to build around that, I think.
well, you know how in animation there's like certain things that the character's going to interact with because they're more detailed than the world around them, or like during anime arcs there'll be an exam in which a whole bunch of characters are entering, but 70% of the characters are completely undetailed and they're not getting past the first round.
Yeah,
I think that would be a
yeah,
fine technique to use here. Not all of it has to be as detailed as these structures. In fact, that will signal to the player that those structures aren't interactable.
I think the main thing that's going to look weird maybe is so this isn't a finished piece, and the lines, like the line weight is like ridiculous. It's just like huge sketchy lines. But
Right.
the final image will want the line weight and width of this to match
yeah,
everything else.
yeah.
Um, if we weren't working with things that had lines, if they were just like pure rendered images with no lines, we could scale them like however we want. But since there's like lines holding the image together, the smaller you make them, the smaller those lines get. So it looks like 75% of the image was done with the regular pencil, and then like these other pieces, these other 25% was done with like a mouse's pencil.
What's our way of getting around that? Is there a way to fudge it so that you can hide this somewhere and it's still a part of the image? Is it
I
completely
mean,
unsalvageable?
No, it's
well, I mean,
yeah,
I think we could try, and like we'd need the rest of the image done, and like and it's possible. So like Frank, I think like this looks really good. I think Frank could do, if he had to redo this, I think he could do it twice as fast and probably be twice as good. Because it looked like he would, it looked like if there was anything that he needed to learn, he learned it while he was doing this piece. Uh, I think we should try to fit it in.
I'm not
If
attached specifically to the thing. I think it looks great, but what I'm wondering is if we're doing this in the future for building
uh,
towns, if we pre-make a structure, we're not going to be able to put it in. We can't
well,
prefab the structures until we have the image proper.
well, we just need to decide on a line width.
yeah, align with the style, and we go with that. But we need more groundwork than what we had when I started doing it, I think.
Okay, so in the future, what's our priority list for D zone concepting? We have to choose line weight.
We need a rough composition of how everything will look. That's what we need. What the angle is gonna be, and how everything's gonna look. What are going to be the key buildings? That's the rough composition of the whole view.
Okay. Is it possible to instance out the locations themselves once you have that information and to do
Yeah,
roughly what Frank did today,
Oh
but
yeah,
yeah,
for all of the
yeah,
important
yeah,
structures?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, if that's true, then I'm fine with whatever direction you guys want to take it in. I think that's going to be a very important part of the process to
yeah, I
be
think
able
so
to
too.
split out the two sections of work.
Yeah, that'll be something we could still do. It's just I would be like, hey Frank, I've been drawing this thing with like this brush at like 25 pixels, like 25 pixel size brush,
Hmm.
and he'll be like, okay,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
Okay.
that's that's pretty much how it will go.
All right. Maybe we can utilize these for the other town that we wanted to make, if we have time to do another D zone and it's smaller.
Yeah, and it's possible that it will fit. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like there's some. Usually it's like oh
Yeah,
it's that line's a little smaller, but it doesn't look bad.
yeah,
Uh,
it's not such a big deal anyway. So we can. It's not a big deal that we have to make it fit. So let's not go out of our ways to make it fit. And I have no problems doing it again, as you said.
Assuming every hour is precious between now and October,
Yeah,
the time that we've spent jamming this and getting an asset that looks good, I don't think it would be wasted in redefining the structure. But if we can't use it here, we should use it in the next D zone.
sure.
We should try
Well,
and
we
make
have
it so that it's like a much smaller thing, and there are only 2 or 3 interactable structures, and they have that line weight.
that's not a problem to do. We
Okay.
can totally do that.
Okay, cool. All right, so now we've got a possible solution for dealing with it in case it doesn't fit.
Cool.
All right, perfect. Um, I guess the next challenge for you, Cody, will be in determining what the wind capture things will look like.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Is that
it's
your
like a
Kirk
clown.
Cameron?
Oh, what are you talking about?
Well, I'm very
uh,
optimistic about this. I think this is going to look great.
Oh, it's gonna
I
look
think so
beautiful.
too. So I was thinking of a couple of ideas for the ignore this drawing right here is not part of this drawing. It's pretend like so you got like a rock face
Mhm.
here.
So it's like floating in the sky.
Yeah, that's right, Frank. So say you have a hole in your cliff. You could have some kind of weird, kind of trumpety extension that comes out that
Oh,
can,
that's nice.
you know, it can actually, uh, move around, you know,
To catch.
whatever, whatever it needs to do,
Yeah.
uh, and maybe it, um, it doesn't have to look like that, but something like that. It could also be something kind of like those wind socks or whatever
Yeah.
it's called, where it's fabric, and maybe it's held up by like some kind of scaffolding.
Yeah. When you're doing these, make these as janky and low tech as you can. Make them like,
Oh yeah, I don't. I really would like to stay away from the whole steampunk thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not that I have anything against it. I just, it's like one person. It always looks like one person's style. Like it
Yes.
doesn't.
I agree.
uh, but that's why it's like, yeah, I want to keep it, even if it looked really crude, like it was just some like almost just like pipes
Just like, what are those
kind of
chunks?
poking out.
Just like
It's
the
like, what is
chunks.
it?
I kind of
it
like
could-
those. It's kind of like weird
They can
barnacles.
look like weapons as well. So that's like cannons coming out of the
Oh
mountain.
yeah. Oh.
This is what I keep on thinking of when I think of the texture of these things. You know that like the very specific fabric texture of like a Chinese junk and its sails? That ruffled like fan type
Uh-huh.
thing. I don't know why. But I keep on thinking of that texture.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. I think this is going to be so cool to play around with.
That would be neat if it would just kind of like these fans would just like unfurl, kind of like open up and catch the wind, and the wind would go into these I don't know, slits or whatever.
Yeah, that could
I'm not
be.
an engineer, so I don't know if that would work, but
It doesn't have to work in any meaningful way. It's
It could-
fantasy.
it could also be some kind of like clay or mud thing, kind of like those like giant termite hills.
Yeah.
Just kind of like they've packed it. That kind of looks like a nipple, but but they've kind of like just built these like muddy.
Yeah, now it's a really gross nipple.
It's a beautiful tit.
No, Frank.
Uh,
Why does it always come back to the orangutan?
Is it touching? Is it
yeah, it's
feeling
touching.
something?
So, but yeah, it's like we can try a bunch of things. I mean,
So concepting out like a whole bunch of different versions of those might be cool.
yeah, I'll need to look at. I'd like to look at like some organs and stuff, and
Yeah.
and just see what looks neat. And yeah, I'd like to not necessarily give it that steampunk vibe if I can help it.
Sure. I agree.
Just because I don't want it. I don't want Valley to be that steampunk city.
I agree.
But yeah. Anyways, I'll see what I can do with that.
Okay.
That's
And if
huge.
anybody gets any idea, please send them my way.
We'll do.
I have one little concept where, like, instead of having them jut out from rock structures proper, they're kind of like really big windsocks that they nail or peg or whatever one end to onto the ground, and then so the wind kind of swoops down along the ground, and the when the socks inflate, they kind of inflate upwards because they're picking up the draft off the ground and being filled up. So the wind is kind of like picking up inside the sock, and then I guess it curls into the rock somehow, kind of like a tentacle arm or something.
So it kind of
Yeah, that would
So-
be the basic idea, I guess. Yeah. Although I don't
Looks
know
like-
what shape they would be.
Looks like a joint.
This this is sort of far removed from our current conversation, but Gosu had an idea for. He says you could put the lines on a different layer for every image and then re-edit the line width. I don't know how
Yeah,
practical.
they are not there, but when you do something like that, it kind of it's kind of like using autotune. You don't get exactly the result that you expect.
Okay.
At least in my experience. Maybe he has a way.
It's like when you swallow bleach when you're trying to get rid of a stomach ache.
yeah.
I never
Yes.
tried that.
That's what I always say.
Yeah. Sometimes
But-
there are unexpected
Well,
results.
it works in babies though, so
Yeah, that's what I heard. They stop crying usually after that. But
You're a
Cody's the resident parent. I mean, what's your success rate been?
I don't know how to answer this.
Okay. Sorry for putting you on the spot. Parenting technique is your own.
oh, that's cool.
That is cool, especially because it's got the nice leading lines up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? And
And
gives
where do we go with that wind? Where does it go?
Yeah, that's
Into
what I was thinking. It's like, does it connect it back into the